Right, I'm going to do a quick video about how exposing fraudsters turned into exposing a paedophile. I started making these videos. Lee Foster exposes a bad doctor, and then Lee Foster exposes fraudsters when these scammers were trying to get money out of my mate, basically. My mate, great lass, love her to bits, but she's not the sharpest tool in the shed. No disrespect, I'll tell that to her face, and she knows I don't think it any bad of her. It's not anything disrespectful, it doesn't make her a bad person. She's a great lass, and I've got a lot of time for her. I could even say I love her, I do love her. Look at anyone in the eye and say I love that lass, she's a good lass, she's been a good mate. So, anyway, people were trying to scam her, I stopped it, and these neighbours, Angie Bell and John Regan, saw that video that I put up and offered to give her a free ring camera. They were all concerned about Katrina. They said, "Hey, I've got a camera. We've got a free ring camera. We can give her it. She can have it, and we'll fit it." And I'm like, "Oh, that's nice of you. I appreciate that." Blah blah blah. They came up. We got a taxi, me and Katrina, to Katrina's. Fit the ring camera. We went to Wetherspoons, bought them a meal, bought them a drink. Job done. Cool. But then they were like saying you need more cameras because you've got a back door, you've got a patio, you've got a conservatory, blah blah blah. So they said we'll get some outdoor cameras for you. We just need X amount of money to get them and order them, and we'll have them in 2 days. Just give them the money, and that was the end of it. Never got the cameras. 2 days went by, where are the cameras? A week went by, where are the cameras? And then it all got nasty because Angie started getting funny and making threats. She's going to come down, do this, do that, and yeah. Then it were like, we want the money back, and John were going to pay her back. Suddenly she'd passed the book to John, and John were paying back on blah 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 date. Blah 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 date came, he never paid. And I always thought John, right, were a bit dodgy. I'd met him, first time I met him, I'd only met him like 2 or 3 times, and as soon as I met him, my gut instincts were like, this guy's dodgy as hell. I couldn't put my finger on what it was. I met him, and there were just some, I just thought, he wears a hat. I've got a hat on at the moment, which I don't normally do, but he's got a hat on, but he's like that, and he's like frigging, like he's hiding, and he just don't make great eye contact, and they were just a bit dodgy looking, They'd like, these thoughts didn't seem pure, and yeah, my gut instinct for he's dodgy. I wouldn't have trusted him with kids. He stayed at mine. He actually came down and stayed at mine when Angie kicked him out, and I wouldn't have trusted to leave him alone with anyone. I really wouldn't, and I didn't. So anyway, long story short, how did it get to exposing him as a paedophile? When he were down at mine, right? I always thought he was dodgy anyway, but he were down at mine, staying there, and it was because his words. This is the truth. This is apparently police have been looking for me recently, so I've heard. I don't know if it's about this. I hope to fucking got it in. I hope to got it in about anything. I've got no to worry about. I've not done anything wrong. But yeah, his words were he met someone and she turned out she was 16, and he said that. Katrina heard that. I heard that. Even this bloody lass that was seeing heard that. Met a 16-year-old. He said she told him she was older, and then it turned out she was 16. And I'm like, really? Okay. But 16, don't make him a paedophile, really. It is a bit sick because he's 50 odd, but it doesn't necessarily make him a paedophile. But I kept calling him a paedophile when I've fallen out with him and he wasn't paying her. And I thought it was dodgy anyway. But yeah, she's 16, not 15, not under 16. So technically it doesn't really make him a paedophile, but she's a special needs child. From what he said, these are his words, not mine. Anyway, long story short, I spoke to his sister because his sister were posting stuff, and I told her about him not paying and he owes her money and blah blah blah, and I said, oh yeah, he met some special needs lass who was staying at mine, blah blah blah, some 16-year-old from what I've heard, and she said, oh yeah, he's always been a nonce. He tried touching me when I was a kid, and yeah, he were on Peadofile Hunters, and she sent me the link to Peadofile Hunters. I didn't know nothing about any of this until very recently. That's when I exposed it. Yeah, I didn't expose it straight away because I did think, I've seen this. I did expose it slightly, but I didn't expose it to a massive extent like I have done recently. I just put it on my Facebook, but I didn't broadcast it, and it didn't cotton on like it has done recently. So basically, I thought he's a fucking paedophile. There he is. No wonder he wasn't getting offended when I was going up kicking off, saying, "Get that fucking paedophile out here! Get him out here! He owes my fucking mate money." I was proper kicking off, pissed up one night, fucking wound up as one at neighbours, his next door neighbour, I've heard. I proper wound up with a little bastard. Thank God he didn't come out because I probably would have cracked him, and then I'd have been arrested for that as well, wouldn't I? So, job done. No wonder he wasn't getting offended. Like anyone calls me a paedophile, I'm a dad. Anyone calls a mother a paedophile, a decent person a paedophile, when you know you're not a paedophile, you don't even have to be a parent. You're getting well wound up. Paedophile, fucking paedophile. I'm a fucking dad. Do not, you know, you're gonna fucking kick off. Call me a paedophile. Do not fucking do that. I'm proper wound up. Anyone says that to me, and most dads would be, and most non-paedophiles would be. So the fact I used to say paedophile to him and he never batted an eyelid and didn't even bother him makes a lot of sense now, because obviously he is a paedophile. Who the hell's that? Oh well, don't worry about it. Right, yeah, so he is a paedophile, and yeah, I'd seen him on that Pedophile Hunters and this special needs thing. The last that was 16, that he said with his own mouth was 16, right? But I've found out recently, because I'm on Badoo, this dating site. Yeah, handsome man like me. Well, not really, mate, but whatever. But I'm on Badoo, and I saw this lass called Angel, and I remember when them two were arguing, Angie and fucking John, and it's like, you fucking you had Angel in your fucking house, you fucking Angel, all this shit about Angel. So I thought, this lass will call fucking Angel, a 16-year-old. Fucking Angel. Doesn't sound like an angel if she's going to meet fucking John. But anyway, long story short, she was called Angel, and she looked a bit, I'm not going to say no, yeah, because yeah, she ain't on my first, but she's on Badoo, isn't she? But yeah, she looked a bit different. And I messaged her and asked her where she was from, and she's from Beeston. So I thought, bloody hell, that's where John used to live, innit? And I spoke to her, and I got a number, and I spoke to her on phone. I can even put the clip on here maybe later. But yeah, I spoke to her, and she's the one. I just spoke to her normally, like I'm chatting her up and that, which I wasn't particularly, but I just thought I'd talk to her to get some research. And then I dropped the thing, oh, you're from Beeston? Your name's quite unique. Did you know someone called John? And then she said, oh, yeah, that's the one who raped me twice. Oh, really? But this lass is actually 30 odd. She's 35 or something. So I don't know where this 16 bollocks has come from, and maybe that's why police are chasing me, because I put slander out there, because she wasn't 16, she was 35. Maybe she's got a mental age of a 16-year-old or younger. Don't know, she doesn't sound right. I spoke to her, and she said that John raped her twice. And I'm like, really? She went to his house, but she's also an escort as well. So you know what I mean? Maybe all this thing about him raping a 16-year-old isn't all that bad, because she's an escort. Because I got a number and I didn't message her straight away. I just got a number, and then when I did message her, I said hi. She like, "Who's this, a client?" I was like, "What?" Then I rang her up and spoke to her. I said, "No, I'm not a fucking client." And then we had a chat, and she went on about John. He wasn't a client. He wasn't meant to be a client, but she was talking to some other guy on Badoo who was a good-looking guy with ginger hair and a ginger beard. Not me, but she went and fucking thinking she was meeting this good-looking guy with ginger hair and ginger beard, and it was John. So it was one of John's mates who'd set him up with her, like he says on one of these recordings I've got. The guy had like tricked her into thinking she's meeting some hot guy or good-looking guy, whatever, better than John, which isn't fucking hard, is it? And then she's got there, and it's some fucking fat old ugly minger like John with fucking how he looks. You know, you've seen him, and apparently he's raped her, forced her to have sex with him twice, and recorded it. He's got it on bloody video. That's why the police were asking him to delete it. So that's what he did. But then she met him next day. So this is the other thing, right? She met him twice. I'm like, well, why would you? Oh, I felt forced. Forced? Why? What the guy in do? How the hell can he force you? So in all honesty, this bit when I'm saying that he's raped some special needs kid, I mean, I don't know what's going on here, because she went to his house willingly. She took herself to his house twice. So surely, if you've been raped, you're not going to go there again. So John, I apologise about that. You never were honest about it. You were lying about it. You said you never had sex with her. She says she had sex with you twice. Yeah, which I do believe that. That's probably the truth. But she did willingly go to your frigging house, didn't she? So there you go. But yeah, this is how exposing fraudsters led to exposing a paedophile, because I started talking to his sister, and his sister sent me in that direction. That's what it is. His sister had said he's always been a nonce. And I said, yeah, there you go. Here's a link. And on that link, right, you've all seen that video where he's caught on paedophile hunters. The link that she showed me, the title of it was "Sick Pervert Asks 14-year-old to Stick Dildo Up His Bum." Yeah, that's the title of it. And basically, they didn't get to say everything that they wanted to say, because as you've probably seen, loads of these paedophile hunters, they get to talk for ages, don't they, most of the time. They get them, and they're rabbiting on for ages, and they're waiting for like 45 minutes for police to come, so they read the entire chat log, don't they? They read it all out and get them done for this and say what everything they've done. They didn't get a chance with John because the police came pretty quick with him. So there was still stuff to say, and I'm guessing he'd been asking this kid, 14-year-old, to stick a dildo up his fat ass. It's Friday, mate. I'm gonna get pissed. What are you doing? That's about it. What else is to say? That's basically what led to me exposing a paedophile. Basically, I was exposing fraudsters. They never paid her. Let's get back to that one before I close this shit. Yeah, they were never going to pay her on God's green earth. They were going to pay her this day. I went up and kicked off and banged about a bit. Neighbour came out, spoke to her. She's a nice lass. I'm mates with her now. And then they got the police to come down and say, if you go up again, you're getting arrested. You know, because I almost broke the gate or something because I was banging it a bit. And I had to just kind of leave it a bit, didn't I? But I still used to message him and speak to him and say, I want my money back, blah, blah, blah. And I guess when I found out about this, I didn't blackmail them. They're probably trying to say I've blackmailed them. Maybe that's why the police are chasing me down. Maybe it's something else, because I did get attacked recently. Yeah, some guy attacked me and I had to defend myself. And yeah, the guy was a bit like he was trying to kill me. I had to hit him back, you know what I mean? So you do what you got to do, don't you, in them situations. But it could be that, or it could be these, because I guess I've been putting slander out there and saying it went with a 16-year-old and blah, 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 special needs lass, when it would a 40, 30-odd-year-old special needs lass. But there were these words. There were these fucking words. Anyway, blah, 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 never paid, fucking Katrina, until they were worried that I was going to expose all that. And then suddenly they paid 165, but then they said, oh, but we're only going to pay you another 100 because we want 100 for the Ring camera that we gave you. So you know what? I thought I'm not keeping quiet for another month because they were saying we're going to pay you back next month. I thought, fuck that, I'll just let it all out there. There's kids that live around here. I didn't want some paedophile running around the streets for another month unexposed. So I fucking exposed the CUNT. Right. Have a good weekend, guys. Yeah. There you go. That's how exposing fraudsters led to exposing a paedophile. And yeah, this isn't my place. That's why it's a bit of shit all. But my place is probably even worse. Take care of yourself, guys. Maybe I'll see you another time.